then we also go okay.
Let's break down.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
We're live on the
All right.
YouTube as well.
Yes, guys, thanks for joining us. We are streaming to you live from a different venue, from the office, different side only. That's all. Okay. So Zhong Jie, let's introduce what the topic is for today.
Yeah. The topic for today is choices. The more the merrier. So what do you think? Is it the more the merrier in terms of choices?
Okay. Well, I mean, the if you're thinking about it, okay, I think definitely having more choices is good. Okay. But I think in the gist, what we want to talk about today is really this the choices that we have, particularly with the financial options that you have. Are they actually good for you? Okay. And we are picking up this topic here because recently there's a news about where the bank are actually some of the staff from the bank are actually recommending certain products that are actually not of the bank, and then it got them into trouble. These are salespeople. They got into trouble, and hence because of that, we just want to pick it up and say hey, if you are actually getting from a particular institution, you have to be aware that this institution is regulated and by right can only promote something that that belongs to them. Yeah. Okay. So it is something that for you to consider. So maybe I'll just say if let's say Zhong Jie, I mean, if you were to purchase certain things, would you be looking for something that is more options, or you just go for particular trusted brand only? What do you think?
Definitely. It will be a few considerations. I'll just give this example. Like if I go to a supermarket, do I prefer to get my things directly from just a market example, a place where, example, is just selling purely vegetables, or I go to a supermarket where I have a lot of choices to mix and match all the things I'm going to getting. So this is like an example.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to if I go and buy vegetables, I like to go Tiong Bahru Market actually. Yeah.
Correct. I think this is one of the things example that previously one of my friends also, when I tried to explain what am I doing, he actually tried to relate what I'm able to provide now as a supermarket.
Yeah. So guys, tell us if you would like to go for just a specialty short store, where that particular store just I mean, we are not talking about vegetables or per se, but financial
Yes.
products itself. And so so Zhong Jie, based on what you say, right, in terms of your clients or anything, do you think, because your experience, you were from a so-called specialized specialty brand,
Yes.
okay, and now you are actually considered like a supermarket lah, all right, or
Yep.
even a hypermarket. How does that change for yourself, particularly as someone who is advising?
For myself, especially for myself, I felt that I'll be able to provide better options for my clients. To quote an example relating to just now as like a food. So whatever I can do now is really example is like apple to apple comparison, whereby A apple and B apple, if all else is equal, to me sometimes I feel that why do I have to pay a higher cost for this apple as compared to A apple or B apple? So this is one thing that I'm able to provide for my clients right now.
Okay, so what you're saying is actually all things equal, then you if you can get it at a cheaper rate,
Yes.
why not lah? All right.
More efficient in terms of cost.
Yeah. Okay. I really agree to that. Actually, in my own experience, guys, if you know of certain things, one interesting thing that I can relate to is I recently made some purchases over at Shopee, Lazada, and anyone actually here bought some shares from Shopee, but anyway, you will realize that there's similar items there, but pricing actually is different. Yeah, especially the 99 promotion, right? Yeah.
Promotion, right.
So if all things equal, and then you're paying additional. In fact, actually, some of us, okay, I admit maybe kiampeng like $1-2 difference or so, I will still go and look for that. So some of you may relate to me, in terms of the dollars and cents. If all things equals, is equal, should you pay a little bit more? All right. Yeah. Then of course, you actually have to consider the service provider, the person that's advising you. There again, but all things being equal, if let's say both of us equally good, right? Yeah. So why pay more, right? Yeah. Okay. So I think in this case, if a choice is given, let's say we as a consumer, would you have more options in this case?
Yes, definitely. Being aware of having more options is one of the things I think some people may not be aware, or whether they wouldn't be really wanting to like look out. Whereby, example from what we are doing, people will choose to trust the advice of the advisor or the agent. So usually they wouldn't really want to go to the route to, is there any other better options, because of the trust level that is there. So
Mm.
there is currently, up to now, there's still people preferring the person. So that's why I think the services what we provide, the value is more important rather than the product itself as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So to our listeners, if you feel that you have any comments, whether you want to stick to one trusted like institution, or like a multiple institution, multiple that represents multiple options, let us know in your comments. Okay. And okay, so we've talked about like the some better options of having different choices. What about those are pros lah, right? Right? What about any cons? Of having too many choices. Are there any bad thing or disadvantages or not?
Definitely we have as well. Personally, I'm a food lover. I would like to relate to food as well. Some example, sometimes when I go to a food court, when I have too many choices, spot of choices, I may not know what do I want to eat and which one to choose.
Yeah, then you
So
can
this
go on
is
diet,
something-
right? Yeah, which is a good thing, huh?
No, eventually I won't go on diet. I may actually order instead of one, I may order two, so smaller portions. So of course, if there's someone to share with me, so this is something that may go into that dilemma. So of course, definitely this is one of the cons. So be like spoiled of choices and do not know which one to go for. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And guys, if you are actually hearing us, and you've got some personal experience on like sport for choice, share with us what are the cons of it. All right. Personally, I also think that if too many choices, not just sport for choice, but rather I will also probably not make any choice. Yeah. That's why I think you need an intermediary lah, or in fact an advisor to help you. Yeah. I think we are at the age where there is a lot of information available on Google, on certain websites that are even comparison charts that are given. Okay, so like it's either you do it on your own, and if let's say you can still do it on your own, great, because you have managed to filter all the information. But with all the information there is, okay, and you are unable to do so, then you should engage an intermediary, okay, who knows the options available, who will be able to filter further down by getting to know you better, okay, and customizing it to according to your needs. Yeah, so that's what I think is the downside of having too much choices, and the solution to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to add on a bit to
Yeah.
it. So it's important to make the decision on your own, but it's more towards a be informed decision whereby you do know of like options and what are the options available out there before making that decision, rather than just purely trusting and close one eye blindly, just everything just okay. So I do have this incident that someone shared with me that prior to that, he do have someone that he trusts and he just closed one eye and just went on for like certain plans. Then only a few years later, when he found out on his own that this may not be something that he wants or will be working out for him. So
Yeah,
definitely,
that's
I
true.
think with all the information available, it's important to make informed decision with someone that you can trust as well.
Yeah, yeah. And if let's say like it's also indicated in the article that came out as well, if you're not that type that really will at least sit down and read some information that is available, and you're just going to trust this person, make sure this person is trustworthy lah. And if you do not know whether this person is trustworthy and you don't have even time to do it, then don't do anything. Put inside the bank. That is probably the safest. Otherwise you'll be messed up with a little bit more complications than you need, right? So yeah, okay. So thanks guys. Okay, I think we've come to a point where we've roughly covered. Okay, having choices. Okay, is it good? Is it bad? Pros and cons. Okay. Well, definitely, I think in general there are a lot. Having more choices definitely will give you more options and more solutions, definitely. And from there, if it's too many options or too many solutions, okay, what should we do? Seek an advisory firm, intermediary, and if let's say you don't have someone that you trust, then go and read the details yourself. Okay. Otherwise, then maybe let's just continue to wait and see first, right? But don't wait too long. Okay. Otherwise, thanks all. Okay. Guys, Any last words, Chung Jie?
Just to add on whatever what KS has been mentioned as well, seek advice from people who are licensed, because from the article it also mentioned that from bank professional, bank personnel, even at their personal time, they are actually not allowed to advise anything not relating to what they are working in representing. So people do really have to have the license to be able to advise. So yes, it's important.
Yeah,
License in Singapore.
I got a few licenses myself. Yeah, I got driving license. I got like advisory license.
Yes, a lot of license. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Until then, guys,
Thank you so
thanks
much.
for joining us and have a good week ahead. And
see
stay
you
safe.
next week. Every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Start of the week.
Okay. Bye.
See you then. Bye. 10 minutes.